Years after being turned away from the prestigious New Haven Hotel, James and Layla Thompson return with an unexpected announcement that leaves the entire staff stunned. Now standing as the new owners of the entire hotel chain, the couple shares a powerful vision for inclusivity that challenges the very foundation of the hotel's exclusive image. The once dismissive manager finds himself grappling with a surge of regret, realizing the lasting impact of that single encounter years before. With poised confidence, the Thompsons unveil their transformative plans for the hotel, delivering a message of unity and respect that touches everyone present. The revelation that follows changes the hotel's legacy forever. But before we dive in, leave a comment and let us know where you are watching from today. And if this story speaks to you, hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories. In the heart of downtown, the grand doors of the elite New Haven Hotel open daily to the city's wealthiest and most influential guests. Known for its luxurious suites, world-class dining, and pristine service, the New Haven had an unspoken reputation. Not everyone was welcome within its marble halls. The hotel prided itself on exclusivity, cultivating a reputation that catered to a select few, often based on appearance and background. Yet behind its polished exterior, whispers floated around about discrimination, a whisper that, though soft, was powerful enough to touch those who were overlooked and left out. On a bustling summer afternoon, a couple, James and Layla Thompson, arrived at the New Haven for a weekend getaway. James, an accomplished tech entrepreneur known for his innovative ventures, had worked his way up from humble beginnings, and Layla, a celebrated fashion designer, was renowned for her avant-garde style and her influence in the fashion world. Used to traveling in style and having a reputation that preceded them, they eagerly looked forward to their stay at the New Haven, seeing it as a well-deserved escape from their hectic lives. The couple, dressed to the nines, approached the check-in desk, clutching their reservation details, ready to indulge in the luxurious escape they'd envisioned. But instead of the courteous, warm welcome they expected, they were met with silence. The young receptionist behind the desk barely glanced at them before looking away, her eyes darting nervously as if she was uncomfortable. An uncomfortable pause ensued, followed by whispered words exchanged between the receptionist and her manager, who glanced briefly at James and Layla, his expression unreadable but tinged with the faintest hint of disdain. The couple exchanged a look, beginning to realize that something was amiss. After what felt like an eternity, the receptionist finally spoke, her tone clipped and devoid of warmth. "I'm sorry, but there's been a mistake with your reservation. We're fully booked for the weekend." James furrowed his brow, clearly confused but remaining calm. He reached into his pocket and presented the reservation email, his voice steady, though a hint of frustration simmered beneath the surface. "I made this reservation weeks ago. Are you sure there's no room available?" The receptionist shifted uncomfortably, her gaze shifting to her manager for confirmation. He stepped forward, his expression hardening as he looked at the couple before him. His voice held an edge as he said, "We're sorry, sir, but there's nothing we can do. As we said, we're fully booked. Perhaps you'd find accommodations more suited to your needs elsewhere." The unspoken message was clear. Layla's eyes flashed with a mixture of shock and disappointment as she tightened her grip on her husband's arm, silently conveying her support and hurt. They didn't need to be told outright what the manager's words implied. It was painfully obvious. Taking a deep breath, James fought to keep his composure, though his disappointment was evident. He was no stranger to discrimination, but he'd hoped such a prestigious establishment would be above such treatment. They turned to leave, their heads held high, but the hurt lingered. As they walked out of the hotel lobby, James turned to Layla, his voice filled with a quiet resolve. "They think they can define our worth by their standards of exclusivity. But true class has nothing to do with status or wealth." Layla nodded, squeezing his hand in solidarity, her own resolve strengthening with each step they took away from the New Haven. She knew this was not the end of their story. Rather, it was the beginning of a journey that would prove that real success was defined not by exclusion but by inclusion and respect. Years went by, and life moved forward. The New Haven continued to prosper, maintaining its reputation as one of the most exclusive hotels in the city, where only the privileged and elite were welcome. But unknown to its management, times were changing, and with it, so were the perceptions of luxury and exclusivity. In an age where inclusion became a more valued currency, the old ways began to lose their shine, even if the hotel's owners were too entrenched in tradition to see it. Then, one day, whispers began to spread like wildfire across the city. News circulated that the entire New Haven chain had been bought by a new owner. It wasn't just a single hotel acquisition, it was a complete takeover of the chain. Curious guests and employees alike speculated about who this mysterious buyer could be, with the staff buzzing about a possible merger with an international luxury brand. But the truth was more surprising and powerful than any of their wildest guesses. On a crisp fall morning, the employees at the original New Haven Hotel were summoned to the main lobby, told that the new owners would be introduced and would be addressing the entire staff. The tension in the air was palpable as the managers and staff gathered, dressed in their finest uniforms and eager to make a good impression. They knew that new ownership often meant changes, and they were keen to see if their beloved hotel's reputation would remain untouched. The grand, heavy doors opened slowly, and the murmur of voices quieted as a couple stepped into the lobby. Heads turned as people whispered to one another, realizing that the couple looked vaguely familiar. Walking with an air of dignity and poise, James and Layla Thompson entered the lobby, dressed impeccably, exuding a presence that commanded respect. There was no anger in their expressions, only calm confidence and grace, qualities that made them stand out even more against the lavish backdrop of the New Haven's grandeur. The manager, the same one who had dismissed them years ago, felt his face drain of color as recognition dawned upon him. His heart pounded in his chest as he struggled to comprehend what was happening. He had never expected to see this couple again, let alone in such a powerful position. James cleared his throat, and the room fell silent as he addressed the crowd, his voice carrying a warmth that was both sincere and commanding. "Good morning, everyone. My wife and I are thrilled to be here today as the new owners of the New Haven hotel chain. For years, this place stood as a symbol of luxury, but we intend to make it something more, a place where everyone, regardless of their background or appearance, can feel valued and respected." He paused, allowing his words to sink in, and the staff exchanged glances, beginning to realize the magnitude of what was happening. James continued, "Years ago, my wife and I walked into this very hotel, excited to experience its beauty and hospitality. But instead, we were met with judgment and exclusion. That experience stayed with us, and we decided to make this hotel chain a place that reflects true inclusivity." A ripple of surprise and guilt washed over the faces of the employees, particularly the manager, who now stood frozen, feeling a deep sense of regret and disbelief. He looked at James and Layla, realizing that his past actions had played a role in the very changes now unfolding. He understood with painful clarity that the Thompsons had returned not just to own the hotel, but to transform its core values into something greater than its past reputation. Layla took a step forward, her voice gentle but firm as she added, "Luxury should never mean exclusion. Real success comes from embracing diversity and treating everyone with dignity. We intend to bring that vision to life here." Her words resonated deeply, stirring a newfound respect among the staff, many of whom began to feel a sense of pride and excitement at the changes to come. As the Thompsons continued to address the staff, outlining their vision for a more inclusive, welcoming hotel chain, the manager felt a weight settle on his shoulders. He wanted to apologize, to explain himself, but he knew that his actions had already spoken for him. The lesson was not lost on him or the rest of the staff. Prejudice and exclusion had no place in a world striving for equality and respect. In the weeks that followed, the New Haven transformed under the Thompsons' ownership. The atmosphere shifted from one of intimidation and exclusivity to one of warmth and inclusivity. The Thompsons worked tirelessly to retrain staff, introduce new policies that encouraged diversity, and create an environment that welcomed everyone, from CEOs to young families and solo travelers alike. James and Layla became a frequent, friendly presence in the hotel, interacting with staff and guests, ensuring that every person felt the spirit of hospitality and respect they envisioned. Word of the New Haven's transformation spread quickly, drawing in new guests who were captivated not only by its luxury but by the warmth of its people. For the Thompsons, the journey had come full circle. They had turned a painful experience into a testament to resilience, proving that true luxury was built on kindness, respect, and inclusion. And for the staff, it became a daily reminder that real change was possible, that one person's belief in a better world could reshape an entire legacy.